We understand that the PGMOL have acknowledged that James Tarkowski's yellow card last night should have been changed to a red. How do you react to that, and what do you think of the effectiveness and consistency of VAR when the officials' bosses are turning around and questioning a big decision in a big game?
I think it's always good that if they think they've made a mistake, that they acknowledge that. And we all know that mistakes are being made in a football match by us, by me, by referees, and it's good that they acknowledged the mistake. But I think it was so clear what I said yesterday, that so many pundits that are not Liverpool fan, all of them were clear about it as well. So good that they acknowledged it, and let's go on to Sunday.
I should also add that obviously Everton had complaints about the goal and potential offside, but at the same time it seems to be that that's more the way the law's written rather than a mistake by VAR.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Because I conceded a goal like this when I was at Feyenoord against Atletico Madrid. Actually, then the linesman raised his flag, but then VAR interfered, saying, yeah, but the player that was offside didn't interfere with the situation. I disagreed with that completely. As I said yesterday, I disagree with the rule because I don't like the rule. Now, okay, it was in a moment where Everton were playing in a low block, but most teams that are offensive want to have a high press. They want to go to the halfway line to play some players in an offside position, and then when the goalkeeper kicks it long, Virgil and Nebo go for a duel with a player that's in an offside position, and I always tell the linesman that it's offside, and he always tells me that he doesn't interfere with the play. So the rule was executed in the way it should, which was good for us, but I don't like the rule.
How close do you feel to clinching that title now? 12 points clear, maximum 13 points needed. In theory, if results go your way, you could be title winners before you face that run of Spurs, Chelsea and Arsenal.
Yeah, in theory, so many things can happen. So again, we felt yesterday how hard it is to win a Premier League game. Because yes, we won it. Yes, we are very happy with it. But I think David Moyes again deserves a lot of credit for how his team was lined up, how difficult they made it for us, how difficult they made it every single team since he's arrived over there. 9 games in a row unbeaten. Now, it's nice for us that we beat them because we know how hard it is. So yeah, that also tells you that with 8 games to go, it's every time a challenge. Starting Sunday against Fulham, who are having a very good season as well. So we are not working on theories about how many points this is. We are taking the challenge of Fulham on for Sunday. Where we have to be at our best again, like yesterday, to get a result.
A couple of other things to check, just Ali's fitness, how likely is he to be available, and how likely is Curtis Jones to continue at right back as well?
That also depends on if players are coming back, the last one, which of course Trent and Joe will not be back in the upcoming weeks. Connor, we have to wait and see if he's ready to be with the squad for Sunday. And then, of course, Curtis is an option because he did well. But I think Jarell did well a few times in the position also. So let's wait and see which decision we make on Sunday. And with Ali, it's simple. It's a concussion, and you have to tick all the boxes. And the moment he does, he will be in goal. The moment he doesn't, we are following the protocol.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
In terms of Fulham, you probably remember the game from in December where they came and gave you a real good go. What memories do you have of that game in particular as to how difficult a side they are to face?
The memory I have of that game is that they should have had a red card in the first half as well, but didn't get, and that did cost us points. But the main memory I have about that game was that we played incredible with 10 men, and if we can have the same effort, intensity with 11, we give ourselves a chance to win the game against Fulham. But I also remember the first 10-15 minutes that Fulham started off really well when it was still 11-3-11. So they're a good team. They have definitely more than a few threats. That's what the both I remember. So it was a great game of football where in the last few minutes we got a few very good chances. I think Virgil was one of them. that could have scored the winner. Was it also the game that Jota scored the same goal as he did yesterday? Yeah. So many memories about that game.
And in terms of your approach, I mean, you talk about not thinking too much about the title being so close. Is it just having to take that usual mentality of one game at a time, forget everything else, just concentrate on one game every single time?
Yeah, because I've said so many times, apart from, we've played 30 games now, maybe there were 3 or 4 games where the score was so clear that in the last 20 minutes it wasn't a problem anymore. Almost all of our other games have been really tight. So that probably tells you as well how big of an accomplishment it is that we are 12 points clear at the moment and that we are doing so well. But because it doesn't come from itself, it's not like the team that won the league in the last 4 times, where so many times 20 minutes before the end or at halftime already 3 or 4-0 up. That's not our season. That's why I have to give so much credit to our players, because if you every time have to fight with a 1-goal lead or you were 1 goal down, that's probably even harder than being 3 or 4-0 up at halftime.
Hi, Arne. Just you mentioned there about Jota getting the goal against Fulham, and we saw the goal he scored against Everton as well. How impressive and important is he? I mean, he's had injury problems this season, but he's an instinctive striker. But also when he has time to think about a situation, he's able to cope with that as well.
Yeah, I think that's one of his most special qualities, that most players, if they come in a situation where they think they can score, they get a bit mixed up in their head. But he can stay really calm in those moments, recognize where he has to shoot the ball, recognize where the defenders are, what the goalkeeper probably expects, which corner he's gonna go to, and then he chooses the opposite one. So he's calm in the moments he has to shoot. Mo is an example of this as well, and that's one of his biggest qualities, I think. What I've seen this season is that he started off really well, but that we missed him. We missed the best possible Jota maybe for 5 or 6 months. So he's been out for 3 or 4 months, but it took him quite a while to get to the level he was at before he got injured. And that's not only with him. I see this with almost all of our players that had an injury, that it takes a while to go back to Premier League level. So they're fit, they train, but the difference between good and excellent is only a small margin, and therefore apparently you need to have a run of games to come back to excellent again.
Hopefully he will have that just at the right time now, between now and the end of the season. You've got a succession of matches now on Sundays with a gap in between each one. How much of an advantage is that for you?
Looking back at the first 8 months, you would say it's a disadvantage, because how well did we do by playing every 3 days? But I think there must have been a few moments during the season that we had 1 week rest as well, and I assume because we only lost once, that we probably won that game then as well. So I would have loved to play the quarterfinals of the Champions League, but unfortunately we faced Paris Saint-Germain. And now this is our situation, and we accept it. That's also a challenge, because players stay fit in the program of playing 2 times a week. Now they have to put even more effort in during training sessions, where during the season, when we did so many games, it was training sessions were more to keep them alive, to bring them back on their feet. And now they have to work a bit harder in training session as well. That's a challenge for them, because you're not able to work as hard as we do against Everton or against Paris Saint-Germain if you don't work hard enough during the week. And that's the challenge that we face now in the upcoming 6 or 7 weeks.
Hi, Arne. There was obviously the incident yesterday with no red card, but in general, what have you made about the standard of refereeing and VAR in the Premier League?
I think everywhere around the world mistakes are being made. This is something in the league where I come from, and we're all aiming for a league without mistakes. I'm aiming for a season without me making one mistake in the lineups I make. But unfortunately, this will probably never happen. Not with me, and not with referee decisions. So we also have to accept, which is sometimes very hard, as you noticed after the away game at Everton for me as well. And I got the idea that David wasn't as happy yesterday after the game, but he was a bit smarter than me. He went inside instead of staying on the pitch. Probably experience. So mistakes are being made. I know, for example, Holland. I follow the Dutch league in Holland. There's so much criticism on the referees over there. So I think it's something. What this is inside this world, wherever we can, and with we I don't mean you, but social media. If there's a possibility to be negative, everybody wants to be negative. Not everybody, but 8 out of 10 people. So then, if referee makes wrong decisions, everybody fall over it. If I make the wrong lineup, everybody will fall over it. So I think it's quite an okay season for the referees in England. Actually, mistakes are being made, but the most important thing is that it doesn't influence the league table. And the only answer to that is in the end of the season, if we see the league table and if we feel if it has influence, yes or no. But it's normal that it does, because mistakes are part of our lives, also from referees.
No.
Just on Curtis, I mean, he's played so many different roles this season. How valuable is that for you as a manager? And also, what does it say about him that he's able to adapt to whatever you seem to ask from him?
Yeah, that's very useful for me. Of course, me and Richard talk a lot about this season and about next season, and it's nice to have versatile players, if versatile is the right word to use. So players that can play in multiple positions. Is that versatile, man? Yeah. Okay. And Curtis is definitely one of them. He has a skill set that he can defend, he can attack, and that's why he can play in so many positions. And he has this mentality: if you give him a challenge, he likes to be challenged. And yesterday was a challenge for him because it wasn't his normal position. And some players hate to be challenged; they want to stay in their comfort zone. But Curtis is a type of player that wants to be challenged. If you challenge him. If you tell him that he's playing against the best English midfielder or under 21 or something like this, and I want to see how you do against that, yeah, then he's up for the challenge. I didn't ask him to stand up against Beto, I think it was, after the game. Was it Beto or someone else? Yeah. But he likes those challenges as well. Oh, that was Ducaré. Okay. After the away game. So, good to have him. Now it's up to him. If I play him again on Sunday, that it's not one-time show yourself, because consistency is the thing what brings you from good to great. And that is now, if I play him again, what he has to show on Sunday.
Well,
I don't know. One of the big factors in the first game with Fulham was Anthony Robertson. He had 2 assists in that game. He spent a lot of time direct running at fullback, which was something that Curtis didn't really have to deal with last night. Carlos Alcaraz tended to drift inside. Is this something that will come into your thinking when you're trying to decide? You mentioned the fact that Curtis likes a challenge. You mentioned the fact that maybe Colin might not necessarily be fit. Are you thinking more about what Fulham can do, whereas with Curtis in the derby it was more about what you can do going forward?
I thought you were going to ask me that I was talking about the wrong red card, because they needed to have a red card for a challenge on Slavenberg, and we got one, which is under a big debate if that was a red card. But okay, let's continue about your question now. He is definitely a threat. He's definitely a threat. I saw this when they played Arsenal. He's having a great season, and I saw this when they played us. But the good thing about a left fullback that wants to attack is also that he takes the risk of leaving Mo in a position where he can hurt the opposition as well. And that has happened multiple times this season, where fullbacks do attack, and then in transition Mo can hurt the other team. We have to make sure that we take care of that part if they attack, because I think he was involved in the second goal, if I'm correct. Yes, we have to have a good answer about that fullback, but the other one likes to attack as well, especially if they play with 5. So we have to find an answer to that. But every team brings you challenges. Everton brought us many challenges yesterday as well, and Fulham will do so also.
It's a unique situation with both Liverpool and Arsenal facing Everton and Fulham in consecutive games. Did you get a chance to really pour over the Arsenal game? Because obviously they played with three at the back, which they hadn't done in the game before. And were you able to draw a few insights into what you may be able to face on Sunday?
It is a unique situation, and that's why I think it would have been more fair if both teams would have played on the same day. All four teams would have played on the same day. But we have more than enough rest for the Sunday game, so it's not a problem for us. But I do feel for Everton that they play on a Wednesday night and have to have the early kickoff on Saturday. The good thing is that they play at home, and I know how much their fans can influence the game. So it's a unique situation. I did watch the game because it's always an interesting game to watch, and we play Fulham, so it would be weird if I would have not watched that game. And but after 2-0, I went to Manchester United Forest, which was also a nice game to watch.
That's one of you.
Arne, I just wondered if there were any new fitness issues coming out of last night's game. Anyone? I wondered about Ryan, maybe if he came through all right after coming back into the team.
Yeah, the boys still didn't come in yet. I hope that because McAllister finished the game, that it's all good with him. But sometimes adrenaline or just keep on running can help you, and then when you have a night of sleep, you can come back and feel maybe I do feel something now. But I hope and expect everybody is ready to play on Sunday again, from the ones that were on the pitch yesterday.
Arne.
You're welcome.
Okay.